and its citizens, in particular women and girls, are enduring enormous suffering. Under the morality law, women and girls continue to experience limitation in access to education, employment, health and justice, as well as freedom of movement and freedom of expression. The civil space has shrunk significantly.
Other countries also. And let me emphasize that the drug trafficking is on the rise. Afghanistan remains the world's largest producer of opium. Particularly concerning are the serious challenges posed by the increasing links between drug trafficking and other forms of organized crimes. The Taliban's reliance on the drug trade
anywhere. It matters how resilient and how strong we are together, and that we stand together. It is, I don't know why I say this phrase, I don't like it, standing together, it means nothing usually. After each and every terror attack, politicians stand together, and the other day, people are left on their own, but I really mean it, being together. And I think the Afghan process, the conference, the fifth round, has proven, thanks to the energy of Ambassador Petric and his co-combatants, I would say, this study, this upheaval.
According to the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, over 20 million Afghans, approximately half the population, will require humanitarian assistance this year. Shrinking safety and security for the civil society, insufficient access to basic needs and services, and economic fragility are amongst the key factors that facilitate the current situation that is even fueled further by the recent suspension of US aid. However, these dire conditions are also the result of the repression of civil rights and the dismantling of women's rights.
The architect and product of the people of Afghanistan. We are in the middle of the regional rivalries and the global politics, and we have become the main victim and paid the highest price. And Martina, you mentioned about the fact that we need to look forward and see how the European crisis of illegal migrants could be resolved.
Yeah. Well, let me begin by thanking the Academy and Madam Ambassador for giving us this opportunity to share our comments and our feelings. I think that's important. We have to connect to feelings. Doctor, it was such a pleasure to talk to you today, and thank you for the dedication to Afghanistan. I think I'm the last person to know you. I hope our relationship remain longer than the others to take more advantage of.
And brought us after 3 years, I think it's very important to focus on. And that resistance is that you may have heard that, we are talking about gender apartheid, which is a very kind of new term that was not only being talked during this our current Taliban regime, but it was also the discussion happened in 1990s when they were ruling first. At the same time, there are other international legal mechanisms that made headlines. For example, the international
demonstration women in Afghanistan. It's a historic work about Afghanistan, and I think it's the first time after a long time. It's the first work the woman stood up or stood up against the Taliban, like a terrorist group. Everybody knows the Taliban is a terrorist group, and the woman stood up against the regime of Taliban and want right and fighting the Taliban. When the Taliban came to
international community, these are issues that matters to the countries like here in Austria, in Europe, and all over the world. And then we come again in the game, and that is bridging this gap, and that is like connecting. Well, I think a lot of issues raised now, the human rights issues, the women's rights issues, peace settlement or striving for a peaceful settlement of the situations such as in Afghanistan, Gaza, Ukraine, you name it. We have so many burning conflicts around the world, and for so